Carson Beck grew up on September 30th of last year, at least as the quarterback of the mighty Georgia Bulldogs. He even told me himself after the Orange Bowl in the locker room, Georgia players were celebrating hard in the locker room after their 60, 70, 80-point victory over Florida State. But I was able to talk with Carson Beck a little bit, and I asked him, I said, after 4 home games to start the 2023 season, how was it going to Auburn and playing like that, leading Georgia to a come-from-behind victory, basically ripping Auburn's heart out at the end of the game? How much was that a factor in his play moving forward? This is what he said, and you can read this over on Dog Post. He said, I feel like I was continuing to improve more and more as the season went along, but both mentally and physically. I definitely say that game had a huge impact on how I play for the rest of the season. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about why that game was so important for Carson Beck, why it's so important now still, and about his confidence. He talked a little bit about that as well. So I think Carson Beck is in for a monster final season. And you can go back to that Auburn game, and I'm going to break down in a second why that really changed the direction of the quarterback that he was going to be at Georgia moving forward. If that even makes sense. It made sense in my mind, maybe not out of my mouth. What does make sense is the guys at College Bronze, they made this bad boy for me. He's a boom. He's a boom dog. He's a statue. Everyone's got a flag. But with Father's Day coming up, with graduation season already here, you're looking for a gift, this is it. They open their eyes and see this bad boy that they can put in their front porch, back porch, office, by the pool, wherever. Their face is going to light up, okay? I'm telling you right now, you don't have to look anymore for a gift. It's right here. You can buy it using the link in the description below, and you can get a discount today using the promo code DOGPOST. Boom, I found your gift. The product speaks for itself. It's unbelievable. I love mine. I talk to it like it's a dog sometimes, say good boy and whatnot. It's made of stone, but I feel like it's a real dog and part of our family. Discount, promo code DOGPOST. Again, that link is in the description below. So, the next question that someone asked Carson after that was about his confidence. How did you stay confident through the first 3 years where you were sitting on the bench, and how did your confidence grow week by week as the starter? And he said, just with reps and getting out there, he said, it's so different from the practice to the game, obviously. He said, nobody will ever know until you're thrown into the fire. When you're out there in front of 90,000 people, it's a lot different than the practice field working on your craft. When you see it on the scoreboard, it's real. And Carson Beck did a really good job, and he was kind of lucky in a way to start the season against UT Martin. He gets to throw up close to 300 yards and a touchdown. Ball State, another just nobody, right? That's what he gets. In game 2, 45-3, another great game, just under 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Then South Carolina came, and Georgia's offense struggled a little bit. They only scored 24 points, but he was fine. He was 27 for 35, 270, no interceptions. Georgia found their way back into that game, but he didn't turn the ball over. He did a good job. He did throw 6 interceptions this year, but none of them were game-changing, right? They did have the fumble against Alabama to Dylan Bell. It wasn't an interception, but kind of a trick play, a little razzle-dazzle that fell on the ground. Alabama picks it up, and that was, a key play that lost them the game. He didn't play that bad against Alabama. He could have played better, and he needs to play better, and probably should have played better. 21 for 29, so he did complete 72.5% of his passes. 243, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they did have that fumble. But he gets UAB after South Carolina. So that's 4 straight games where he's got 3 easy ones where he should go out and look really good. Then the Auburn game came. And I'll tell you what, that place is rowdy. I've got to give the Auburn fans and that stadium credit because I've been to a lot of stadiums. I covered a lot of games at different places. It's Jordan hair, but they say Jordan hair, but it looks on the stadium like Jordan, but they say Jordan. It's really weird, but it's loud. It's loud. And when the Dogs come to town, place goes nuts. They hate Georgia so much. They were in that game the whole time. It was a 3-quarter battle. And then Georgia said, we're better. Let's go take this game. But that environment was nuts. That's what I'm trying to say. And that was the first true road test, not only for the team, but for Carson Beck. And he made big throws when it mattered most down the stretch, including his only touchdown pass of the game. Yeah, Brock Bowers was the monster. I mean, he went to Brock Bowers time and time again. Everyone knew that he was going to Brock Bowers, except the Auburn defense and the staff and the players. It's still mind-boggling. But he made the throws. And he was calm, poised, confident, and led that team to victory with Brock Bowers and with the stellar play of the defense in that fourth quarter. But that was a massive win for his confidence. And he said that he talks about that a lot. Because when you sit for 3 years behind a guy who goes on to be the greatest college quarterback in program history, how do you keep your confidence up? And the only way to get your confidence up is to go out and make plays in the game. And when he made those big plays to lead them to win over Auburn, that changed things. That really clicked for him. He would go on to say that, later, and I'll write that in the story. I haven't written it yet. But that was a big deal because what happened next week? Kentucky came to town, and he had his best game of the season. He was 28 for 35 against Kentucky team that was ranked number 20. There were no scrubs. They just ran for 1 billion yards against Florida, I think, the week before. They come to Athens, and Carson Beck lights up that defense, 28 for 35, just under 400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, completed 80%. It was phenomenal. And that's when it started to click, like, this guy could be one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Truly. We thought he had the potential, but now he's showing it. Vanderbilt, 261, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That was nobody's best game. It wasn't Carson Beck's game. It wasn't the team's best game. But you had Florida 2 weeks later, and he did what he does. 19 for 28, 315 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 186 quarterback rating. Quarterback rating was 86. Yeah. QBR 86. He was solid. And he did get better and better as the season went along. Then he had Missouri. Maybe the second best team they played all of last year. Probably was. That was tough. And he had to make some big throws in that game to win. He was 21 for 32. So 65%. You'll take that against a good defense. 254, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a solid winning play out of your quarterback against a team that was better than I think we thought. We knew Missouri was a good team. They gave Georgia a real fight, and Carson Beck had to play well, and he did. He made some really nice throws. Ole Miss the next week, number 9 Ole Miss, coming to town. Again, he got a little lucky. A lot of these games were at home, but he was phenomenal. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 72% completion percentage. He was great. Led them to a monster, easy victory. Then they went to Tennessee. The second and the only real road test they had at that point, you're talking November 18th. This is the only true road game. Or second, first one since Auburn, where, again, everything started to click, and he started to play better. And he goes up to Knoxville and throws for about 300 yards, 298, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, leads them to another comfortable, easy victory in Knoxville. That's what we say every other year now. Comfortable, easy win in Knoxville. That's on repeat now. Then he goes to Georgia Tech the next week. And again, kind of like the Vanderbilt game, he didn't play his best. The team didn't play their best. 175 yards, season low, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. They won the game by 8. I felt like it was a lot more. The game was never in hand. He didn't play terrible enough to where they lost the game or anything like that. It was a survive and advance, and they advanced to Alabama where they lost. And it cost them a possible three-peat. That's a game where Carson Beck has to be better next year, and he's going to be tested on the road at Alabama, on the road in Austin, on the road in Lexington, which will be tougher than people realize right now. Then on the road at Oxford, at Ole Miss, he's going to have to use that experience at Auburn and at Tennessee and find that type of play where he can go out and blank out the noise and play winning football one play at a time, one throw at a time. He's able to do that. He's shown it. He's shown flashes of a guy who could be the number 1 pick next year, shown flashes of a guy who could win a Heisman, and shown flashes of a guy who, more importantly, could lead Georgia to a national championship. But he's going to have to make some big plays, big throws in the fourth quarter of probably multiple games. It's going to be a tougher schedule for Carson Beck and Georgia, no doubt about it. He's going to have to step up and play better if Georgia wants to win a national championship. But he's already played well. That's what I'm trying to say. He's already arguably the best quarterback in college football. If he takes his game to another level and continues to improve and continues to grow his confidence, it's going to be really tough to beat these dogs. And Carson Beck might have one of the best seasons any quarterback has ever had in Georgia football history. And we've seen some great seasons in the past few years. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Again, get your statue right now. Your dad, your grandfather, your son, whoever will be thrilled when they open that box and see this 35-pound stone bulldog. It's going to be a member of his family. Dude's not going anywhere. He's going to be around for a long, long time. Get yours today. Promo code DOGPOST, DAWGPOST, to get a discount. Deal of the century right here. Make sure you do that. The information's in the description. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you on the website.